9 rivals, one-crowned Bukowiecka and Święty-Ersetic chase 400 meters gold. Lane 9, Poland. Amelia Rowe of Australia, Lane 8, just 18, racing in Europe for the first time. Gabby Scott, Puerto Rico, Lane 7, pure speed. Evalis Aguilar of Colombia, Lane 6, she blazed 49.80 this year at altitude. Natalia Bukowiecka of Poland, Lane 5, two-time Olympic relay silver medalist, runner-up in Doha just weeks ago at 50.92. Justyna Święty-Ersetic, fellow Pole, Lane 4, the 2018 European champion chasing her best form again. Gale of Canada, Lane 3, hunting her first sub-51 of the year. Vondrova, Lane 2, Czech Republic, European U23 champ. Anastasia Kus of Poland, Lane 1, just 18, already a world indoor relay silver medalist in Nanjing. All 9 locked in the blocks, Lane 5 holding the favorite. Stadium silent, one breath before the gun. The gun fires in their gun. Bukowiecka attacks hard from Lane 5, Aguilar right with her into the turn. At the half, Bukowiecka's smooth, balanced, in total control out in red. Scott eases past Gaka in the outside lanes. Gale fires through 300 meters, refusing to fold. Into the final straight, Bukowiecka pulls clear. Behind her, it's a brawl for the minor places. She's striding for home, dipping for the line. Bukowiecka takes it. What a run from Gale, fading late but still digging for third. Bukowiecka celebrates another outstanding performance, proving once again why she is one of the leading quarter-milers in the world. The replay reveals how perfectly she judged the race, remaining composed through the opening half before gradually increasing the pressure around the final bend. While others began to lose rhythm over the closing meters, the Polish star stayed balanced and powerful, producing one of her trademark finishes. Gale's aggressive opening 300 meters almost earned a major upset, but the early pace eventually caught up with the Canadian. Another replay highlights the decisive move as Bukowiecka accelerates into the home straight, immediately creating daylight between herself and the rest of the field. A season's best, another international victory, and another reminder that the Polish star is building form at exactly the right time. The women's 400 meters is often described as one of the most demanding events in track and field. It isn't simply about raw speed. It rewards patience, rhythm, race intelligence, and the ability to survive the final straight when every muscle is burning. And on this occasion, one athlete mastered every one of those elements. Natalia Bukowiecka arrived as the clear favorite. but being the favorite only increases the pressure. Every athlete in the field wanted to challenge her, especially after an indoor season interrupted by injury and a year in which many questioned whether she had already reached her peak. Instead, she answered every question with one race. From the opening meters, Bukowiecka never looked rushed. While several athletes attacked aggressively out of the blocks, she focused on maintaining perfect rhythm. Her running looked effortless, allowing her to conserve valuable energy without giving away position. One of the biggest challengers early in the race was Canada's Lauren Gale. Gale produced one of the boldest opening 300 meters in the entire field. She committed completely, attacking the stagger and refusing to let Bukowiecka settle comfortably. For much of the race, she looked capable of producing a major upset, showing impressive early speed and confidence. But the aggressive strategy came with a price. As the athletes entered the final straight, Gale began to tighten. Her stride shortened, her cadence slowed, and the energy spent during those opening meters finally caught up with her. That was exactly the moment Bukowiecka had been waiting for. Instead of fading, she accelerated. Very few athletes in the world are capable of increasing their speed over the final 100 meters of a 400-meter race. Bukowiecka is one of them. Her posture remained relaxed, her shoulders stayed low, and her stride continued to flow naturally while everyone around her was fighting fatigue. That difference in efficiency decided the race. Behind them, another fascinating battle was developing. Gabby Scott of Puerto Rico produced one of the strongest opening halves in the outside lanes, using her natural speed to stay in contention. She remained competitive through much of the race before gradually losing contact during the closing stages as the pace intensified. Evalis Aguilar once again demonstrated why she has become one of the fastest improving quarter-milers this season. The Colombian stayed composed throughout the opening 250 meters and briefly looked capable of challenging for the podium before the relentless pace established by Bukowiecka proved too much to match. Australia's Amelia Rowe entered the race carrying significant momentum after an excellent domestic season. At only 18 years old, competing in Europe for the first time, this represented an enormous opportunity. For the opening half of the race, she handled the occasion remarkably well. She matched the early rhythm, remained technically composed, and never appeared intimidated by the experienced athletes surrounding her. But championship-level 400 meters are often decided after 250 meters. Once Bukowiecka launched her decisive move, Rowe simply had no answer. It wasn't a tactical mistake, it was the difference between an emerging talent and one of the world's established medal contenders. Poland also had another experienced athlete in the field. Justyna Święty-Ersetic entered with years of championship experience and one of the strongest relay resumes in international athletics. She tried to remain patient during the opening stages, hoping her finishing strength would allow her to move through the field late. However, the pace established by Bukowiecka and the aggressive opening from the younger athletes left too much ground to recover. Another athlete worth mentioning was Natalia Bukowiecka. Still only 18 years old, Kush continues to gain valuable international experience after already representing Poland at major global championships. Although she wasn't expected to challenge for victory, every race against world-class opposition accelerates her development, and performances like this will only strengthen her future championship ambitions. Perhaps the most impressive aspect of Bukowiecka's victory wasn't simply the winning time of 50.44 seconds. It was the way she achieved it. She never looked desperate. She never lost her form. Even during the final 50 meters, where most athletes begin fighting just to reach the finish line, Bukowiecka remained technically efficient, producing one of the cleanest closing phases in the race. That has become her trademark throughout her career. Unlike many 400-meter runners who rely almost entirely on explosive starts, Bukowiecka wins through balance. She distributes her energy almost perfectly over the full lap, allowing her to finish stronger than nearly everyone she races against. This performance also sends an important message ahead of the biggest championships of the season. Only weeks earlier, questions surrounded her form after the indoor campaign and minor injury setbacks. Now those doubts have largely disappeared. A significant season's best, a controlled victory, and perhaps most importantly, visible confidence returning with every stride. For the rest of the world's 400-meter specialists, that's an important warning. Natalia Bukowiecka isn't simply improving. She's building toward championship form exactly when it matters most. And if this race is any indication, her biggest performances may still be ahead.